Sorry, guys. I'm just squeezing in because we didn't have too much time before the next game. That's all. Just this one. What time is it? What time are we starting? It's all right.
Go down there.
It's 2 o'clock. When's the game? It's 4-2, so really like 10 minutes. Not possible?
I really asked about
Is it possible to get 10 minutes for guys to get fill up waters and so forth? 10 minutes? Is that possible? They said it's up to you guys. I was wondering if it's up to you.
God, I want to do this. We just got this.
Let's pack it up. We got to pack it up quick. They try and get in. Sorry, we'll be done.
Don't worry about it. Thank you. Hey, I'm going to talk to my family after.
Should have had that one. Officials, thank you guys.
Yo, this thing just everything.
Did we get everything out your way or we missed it?
I think you're good,
that
bro.
big ass extension cord.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that was here.
Here you go, boss. I don't think it's on our end over here.
What's wrong? Somebody hit it.
Oh, did?
Yeah, right? 'Cause now it says projecting this way up. And this is on now.
Great.
Now it's working.
How much do you think up?
Good. Yeah, I just need to get their numbers down.
I'd go ask right now.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Go across right now. Go get your paper. They go with the pen and go over. They start in 10 minutes.
Is the camera on?
Huh?
Did you turn the camera on?
That should be on. Come on. Plug in, right?
Bro, like.
Plugged in, camera's on. Maybe I got it in the wrong AC.
Hey, I want to know what I
Good. Yeah, let's start checking some of these.
Yeah, go. Go do that now. Johnny, is this your stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here.
Yeah, put on the arm. Yeah, put on the arm. That's what's taking my
number 15s?
Where? Oh, he's 30. That's why I wrote that.
Yo, by the way, just for future reference, you should check out, before you get on, you should see if that face tracking was on. So there's a setting on the camera called face tracking, where basically like the second guy on the bench on this team throughout the whole broadcast had the box on his face every time of the show. I just turned it off.
Okay, good. So, Lysandra. Lysandra and Andreko.
Where'd you set up for a good shot?
Right, literally as close to this as possible to get his face behind. Gotta get it right now.
Another option. You don't have another option.
We'll be watching your game. We got a lot of watching like this.
Yeah, this is as good as it's.
That's what I did last time.
Yeah.
And then
What's the pronunciation?
Like Andreko.
Andreko?
Yeah. Lysandra.
Where?
Lysandra.
Do you have a scrap piece of paper?
Yeah, sure. They got you taking notes?
Vowels.
Oh, okay.
Let's get a mic check.
Oh, this is definitely too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Jahi, let me get the mic check.
Is the broadcast already up?
1, 2, 1, 2.
You guys want to do an intro?
Yeah, I'm gonna do an intro.
Wait, hold on.
Nah, I don't care.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna post this.
You can. Is the stream started up? All right.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
You are live on air.
Wait, I'm trying to.
Am I loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
We're live, though, just so you know that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Good luck the rest of the way, guys.
Appreciate it. You ready?
Any other pronunciations? What is this?
This is actually Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Flanagan Gym, where the top-seeded Syracuse Orange Club basketball team face off against Fairfield, who just defeated Montclair State in a game 10 minutes ago. I'm Jahi Geis alongside my partner, Danny Diaz. Danny, top-seeded Syracuse against a very big Fairfield team. How do you feel about this game?
I feel pretty confident. In the first game, Syracuse took care of business. They shot 80% of three. The backcourt was electric. The only way that Syracuse kind of finds themselves trailing into this game is if they played at Fairfield's size. Obviously, Fairfield has the size advantage, but Syracuse has a shooting advantage. They have a bunch of smaller guards that are fast. They know how to shoot the ball. It's all about team chemistry, and don't kind of fall behind against Fairfield.
Absolutely, and we all know that Coach Matt Sinelli is really big on running and grit and moving and making sure your feet don't stop and having that pace. Do you think that'll be a big part of tonight's game?
Absolutely. Pace is going to be everything if you want to even have a chance at regional finals, because last year you fell in the regional semis to Binghamton, and you need to kind of, we saw last game, Jolly, they got in round one, they were off to a 16-0 start. If they have that start again, Syracuse is going to have no problem here tonight. You kind of just have to play fast and maintain that the whole 40 minutes.
Absolutely. I think this will be a great matchup, and whoever wins this is headed to the North Atlantic Regional Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is going to be underway in seconds right after this. In tonight's starting lineup, we have Jack Newcomb, Anthony Rybarczyk, Izana Hidaru, Kazi Okera Anglin, and Oz Alad. And on the Fairfield, we have Danny Tarantino, Luke Lysandria, Sean Vincent, Joseph Scandalius, and Ryan Shanahan, or excuse me, James Homecamp. For the tip, Jack Newcomb wins it for the Orange. Captain Oz Alad, he's been having a fantastic season, and this will actually be his last one. This could be the last time he sees the court if this game doesn't go their way. Kazi starts it off with a big-time three.
What did I tell you, Johnny? They were going to need to start strong, and that is what they're doing. They're not wasting any time picking up where they left off just a game ago.
Absolutely, and you can see Anthony Rybarczyk already picking the pockets of the Fairfield team. Izana breaking up passes. That's out of bounds. Fairfield's ball.
You know, we've talked a lot about the offense early on here, Johnny. We got to 91 points last game. We need to talk about that defense. This front court, is a very strong front court. Limited the team in round one to just 50 points.
Absolutely. Luke Lysandria gets downhill, able to get the layup to go. 3-2 with 19:17 to go in the game. In the first half. Anthony Rybarczyk gets it to Izana Hidaru. That mid-range J is smooth. That's his first of the game.
The playmaking here early on is emphasizing Coach Matt Sinelli's teamwork model. If you kind of get the right space, use the teamwork, get the right passes, like something like the 2014 Spurs, for example. Pass, pass, you're going to get the open looks like the other ones out right there.
Absolutely. Shot from deep, 24. Daniel Tarantino misses that one. Rebound, Alad. Called out of bounds. Turnover.
Not the best error you want to see coming from your captain. Lucky it's only a minute and a half into this game, but it's stuff like that you want to stray away of here, especially early on in this game.
Yes, they got to be very careful and value the ball here on offense. But I think they'll have no issue with that because they were very strong last game. Right now you have Joseph Scandalius operating on the perimeter. Ball deflected and knocked out of bounds.
That's what you love to see from your other captain, Kazi Okera-Anglin, a guy who averages almost a double-double, 19 and 8. But we got to talk about his physicality on defense, and it was a great example right there.
Absolutely. There's no guys that really compare to him physically and athletically. And you can tell he always wants to get the bucket. Going downhill and with the layup, Scandalius.
That's going to be a problem Syracuse faces all day. The physicality of this Fairfield team is something they did not see against Geneseo in round 1. And you also have Fairfield coming off their game with Montclair State off the win, so you kind of want to kill their momentum a little bit.
Babarczyk with a nice fadeaway mid-range shot. 7-4 with 17:43 to go. Syracuse has not been able to run away with the lead yet, but it's still early. He throws the punt fake, gets him to jump. The shot from outside. Vincent misses. Rebound, hit him. Throws the ball up to Babarczyk. Misses it all. Inside. Hits a little punt fake. Jack Newcomb stays on his feet and gets the stop.
See the Syracuse offense a little rusty. We have it anchored well on the defensive end. The offensive end, when we were at this point against Geneseo, Syracuse was already nearing 20 points.
Yeah, the game is a very different look here because the defense from Fairfield seem intense, and they're putting intense pressure on the ball. Alad with the three, but that one doesn't fall. Rebound to Fairfield.
Syracuse off to an early nice start, but just kind of has been a little bit stalemate the last minute and a half, only scoring one bucket.
Yes, you've got Alad holding his own while guarding Scandalius. But here comes the drive. That is Lysandra with the and-one basket.
Already 4 points early on for Lysandra. He's someone that Syracuse is going to have to figure out early, especially with the physicality we saw there. He could drive in. He's going to take that contact every single time.
Yeah, he's got a 6'4" frame. He's lanky. That's the type of guy that you want. And he's going to do a good job getting downhill. And he converts at the line. That's one more for Lysandra.
Tie game here, just 4 minutes into play of the semifinals of the regional tournament.
Yes, Alad draws the foul. That foul on Daniel Tarantino, who's actually a transfer from Boston College.
Oh, really?
Yes, in his junior year, 6'6".
Something that Syracuse is definitely going to want to try to stray around today. We know Fairfield has the height. It's what can you do to work around that height and get something on the offensive end going.
Okera-Anglin with the missed three. Ball back with Fairfield. Holmkamp misses it. Rebound, Kazi Okera-Anglin. Alad now operating on the outside. Jack Newcomb. Hard off the rim and rebounded by Kazi. They called the offensive foul on Okera-Anglin.
That's a problem we saw last time, Jai. Kazi got in some real offensive foul trouble just because he picked up 4 early on. Luckily, you were up 50. This time, you're not going to be up 50 against this Fairfield team.
Yeah, I think one thing Kazi's going to have to grasp is that he's bigger and stronger, so they're going to call the whistle different for him.
You're also going to set your feet in the paint down low. You're going to try to work to take essentially Syracuse's captain out of this game and limit them so you can exploit it.
Yes. Scandalius with the three. It's no good. The environment here is like no other. You would not expect this for a club basketball game. But Jack Newcomb is rising to the moment. That's 3 more.
Jack Newcomb setting a tone because Syracuse right now, and Fairfield as a matter of fact, have been chucking up shots back and forth, and it's going to turn into a 3-point contest of who's going to make it and who's going to take command of the game, as we just saw there. 2 Fairfield shots that weren't particularly the best.
Yes. Now checking into the game, we've got Alex O'Neal and Steve Walsh. We all know Steve Walsh went off for that 20 straight points early in the season. Offensive initiator.
Oh, 100%. 24 points in that game at the Dome. But you know what, Johnny? There's also a Walsh on the Fairfield bench. Dylan Walsh.
Well, maybe they're cousins. Walsh gets it inside to O'Kara Anglin. He's got James Holmkemp guarding him, sitting in the chair. O'Neal in the corner. That's cash money. That's 3 for O'Neal.
It's good that Syracuse has a lot of depth because coming off the bench, O'Neal is someone that can kind of give that spark. You have a nice rotation going, and if you could just kind of make Fairfield tired, they really have so much, and they don't have it.
Yes, that's out of bounds. Looks like the ball is going to stay with Fairfield, though. Subbing into the game is number 12, Ryan Shanahan, for Daniel Tarantino. The 6'6" big seems to really be making his presence known, and when I was watching him last game, they could not stop him. Scandalius on the outside with Alad guarding. Alad, a great defender, really moving his feet well. Lysandra penetrates and misses, and the putback is no good. Rebound Alad.
Johnny, we talked about Walsh's offense, but on the defensive end, this kid is an anchor. He can do it all essentially just because of the fact that his importance on that backcourt is he's kind of the captain, I guess, of the smaller guards on defense.
Yes, he is. He is what I would call the leader of that bench role. He is the 6th man. He's exactly what you want. Gives me that Lou Williams role. Going downhill. It's no good, but rebound to Fairfield and put back by Ryan Shanahan. The 6'6" Shanahan was a little too much for Newcomb that time, as they now have 13-9. Syracuse still has the lead.
Shanahan, despite being a freshman, is going to be someone that's very important. You've seen that when Coach Mancinelli takes Jack Newcomb out of the game because obviously he's getting tired, but now what are you going to do if you're Syracuse with such a dominant rebounder down low, plus a threat on defense?
Yes, now that they don't have him in, they seem to play in a more small ball lineup. As Kazi puts up the shot, doesn't fall. Scandalius now gets it to the inside. With the spin, with the left. Lysandra with a pretty leg.
Sophomore has been a very big problem for Syracuse. Hasn't figured out really how to guard him. Already 7 points of Fairfield's 11 here early on.
He seems to be really initiating and creating all the offense for Fairfield. Alad trying to break free from his defender to the corner. Kazi O'Kara Anglin. Bang! Big time 3 from the captain.
Something great, actually, if you're Syracuse. Before that 3 play, I was about to tell you, I love Fairfield's defense right now on the 2 captains. We saw Oz almost lose control of the ball, but then eventually swing it back out for O'Kara Anglin to get something going.
Yeah, you know they say offense beats defense 99% of the time. He gets Anglin on his feet. Downhill, Lysandra once again and to the line. And I think that's now the 3rd foul for Anglin. Being in foul trouble so early this could be dangerous, as he's now their leading scorer.
See, against Geneseo, you saw Syracuse was able to use their guards and take advantage and shoot from the perimeter. That's why they went 80% from 3. but it's a different strategy when you're playing a team that is much bigger than you, especially on the defensive end, because without your center, when he's taking rest and you got a sub in guards, could become a problem on defense, and then now it's just a 3-point game.
Yeah, and you see the game is becoming closer, and that's not what they want. The real thing that I would worry about is keeping Kazi in the game when you may need him in the end, especially with these fouls so early on in the first half. Gets the ball to Cole Martinez. That three doesn't go. Outside once again. Second time's the charm. That's three.
He has a knee brace, Joey, but that knee brace ain't stopping him today.
That shot's going to get up anytime he wants it. O'Neal sitting on it. It's still good. Luke Lysandra, the 6'4", shooting right over O'Neal's face. Martinez once again, buttery, smooth. Back to back.
Cole Martinez. He's giving Syracuse kind of a spark here coming off the bench.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to keep going shot for shot is what I'm seeing. On the outside, Lysandra trying to post up the smaller O'Neal. Blocked by Anglin. Alad now pushing the break. O'Neal with the ball. Downhill. And he misses it. Shot blocked. Lysandra and Anglin on the break. Lysandra gets the layup to go.
Lysandra's already up to 14 points. The sophomore that has been the source of Fairfield's offense all day.
And there's Steve Walsh. The guy on the bench will get you activated. There's a timeout on the floor. Syracuse currently leads 24-19, 10:34 to go in the first half. Danny, what are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing a relentless Syracuse team. The offense has had its moments, obviously, with Cole Martinez, and then Cole Martinez, 2 back-to-back threes, which is the reason why Syracuse is up 5 points right now. Without that, it's kind of been a little slow. On the other side of the ball, Luke Lysandra has been just phenomenal. Already 13 of Fairfield's 19 points. You got to find an answer for head coach Matt Sinelli.
Absolutely, and you may not have noticed, but Cole Martinez had 14 points, and almost 12 of those came in the first half last game because he was on fire. That 3-point streak, hot streak he had from last game is continuing right now.
It's the depth, Jai. It is the depth of this Syracuse team is what makes them a special team this year. Last year you got to this point, couldn't cross the finish line, and right now this back and forth, in just about 30 minutes we're going to see if this year's team's different.
This Syracuse team wants to do something they have not done before, and this is the opportunity. Will they step up to the plate? Back out of the timeout, 10:34 on the first half clock. With the full court press right now, they look like they're running a diamond press. Anglin guarding on the perimeter.
That's the problem with press, Johnny. When you press, you let guys like Leo Ackerman get free, and you kind of get to exploit that and get right back in this lead. This is going to be a game that's going to be back and forth the whole rest of the way.
Yes, Leo Ackerman able to get right downhill when there was no help on the inside. Now we've got Steve Walsh by himself on the outside. Cole Martinez with the hit. Has he blocked? Looked like it was on his way down, but no call. Alad for 3. Hard off the backboard. Rebound by Walsh, given the hitter. O'Kara Anglin. Cat. Big time 3 for the Orange.
That's what the name of the game is. Rebounds, Johnny. You have to get offensive rebounds because it's like that. It's second chance points, which allows you to take control of this game and slow that Fairfield offense down.
Pass to the inside with a bump by Martinez. He's called for a foul. Sean Vincent going to the line.
On the other side of the bracket, Joey, Princeton is up 24-21 over Adelphi. And that was a very good game. Adelphi beating St. Bonnie's. Princeton's also a team that was in a back-and-forth game while we were here on the call for Geneseo, and it could be something to look forward to in that championship.
Yes, both of those games went down to the wire, and now this one's a close matchup too. It really gets you excited for that championship game.
Yeah, I feel excited. You know, Syracuse beat Geneseo by over 40 in the quarterfinals, which was round 1, obviously. But now when you have this back and forth game, it kind of gets the adrenaline going.
Yeah, you do. But what I'm really wondering is how Coach Matsinelli is going to stop them from getting downhill. Fairfield has been able to penetrate and use their length to get their shots over the smaller Syracuse defenders, as this team has a way longer size, as Anglin gets that shot up, but it's in and out.
Unfortunate, Anglin didn't get it to land, but he has a very, very pretty jumper. He knows how to work in space, and he knows if he's going to have to throw it up high.
Yes, he does. Alon comes in and breaks up the pass. Fast break layup for the captain. That is leadership. That is hustle.
If you're Elad, you are definitely feeling great because you're now 1 of 5 from the field. He's been struggling to find a shot, and they're on the fast break in the hustle.
Unable to get the layup to go. The follow-up is good. The score is now 29-25. Syracuse in the lead with 8:36 to go in the first half. They're looking to get some initiation from their captain, Oz. Hitteroo looking to set the screen. The pass is read, and now on the fast break.
After Fairfield committed an error, just a possession where they got Elad's space. Elad, on the other hand, commits a sloppy error to kind of give Fairfield the momentum. You see their whole bench is standing up right now. You're kind of wondering, what is that doing for the Syracuse offense on the floor right now?
Yeah, you can see a drastic difference between the energy on the Fairfield side and the Syracuse side. And those things might seem little, but they make a huge difference for a team's energy.
And another Syracuse turnover. Everyone on the bench for Syracuse is now standing up, but not for the same reason. Fairfield is standing up. Fairfield is standing up because they're kind of now taking momentum of the game, and Syracuse is standing up to kind of back their guys on the court up because we're just communicating that it's time to go.
Yes, they're doing everything they can to control the momentum. And there we got a fadeaway midi from Scandalius. Steve Walsh on the outside, gets it to O'Kara Anglin. Anglin trying to use that size, gets it to Hitteroo. That one's off the left side of the rim.
Poor possession of Syracuse as you have center Jack Newcomb looking at head coach Matsinelli, not knowing what the play was, forcing Hitteroo to take not probably the greatest shot that he was intended to take.
Rebound, bounced off the feet of Jack Newcomb, and the bucket is good for Fairfield. They now lead 31-29. The energy for Fairfield has shifted. Despite being down, their mindset never changed.
Syracuse, you have, within that last minute, you had a turnover, then that cuts into 3, then you don't score, then you have 3 chances, 3 separate chances at getting an offensive rebound. You don't, and now they command the lead.
Yes, as from what I'm seeing from the Syracuse team, they don't seem to have that loose feeling, that relaxed, I got this nature in their game as they did against Geneseo, and I think that's what they need. They seem too stiff.
I think if Syracuse wants to get back this, they have to control the paint, and essentially the paint, the elbow. Whenever you're on defense, you have to own that part because you have to grab rebounds. You also know guys like Luke Lyasandra for Fairfield can essentially do anything acrobatic. These are big guys. They will take any shot they can with the left, with the right, on any side. Syracuse has to own the paint on the defensive side.
They do, and once they do that, you can see they're not hitting all their jumpers. This game will change. So they can stop the interior scoring. This game is theirs once again.
What I do like from Fairfield is they're limiting Syracuse's 3. We saw after the back-to-back Cole Martinez threes, we did not see a lot from Syracuse beyond the arc after that. Something that Fairfield knew coming into this game that they're good at doing.
Yes. Steve Walsh still in the game, trying to get some offense started for himself. He hasn't had the hot hand as he did before, but we all know what he's capable of. Walsh drives downhill, stop, pop, no good. Rebound to Fairfield. Getting downhill, mid-range J, that one lays out. Still with the 2-point lead to Fairfield and 6:25 to go. To Newcomb up top, 3, cash.
Jack Newcomb, 6'5" sophomore, but just
Jack Newcomb reminds me a little bit of Kevin Love. Some big rebounding, big body, interior scoring and shooting. It's just what you need. 3, Fairfield. It's all. Rebound to Hillary. Newcomb again. Newcomb is hot.
We saw in the Fairfield miss bucket before they grabbed the rebound. We saw Newcomb hustle because he just wanted more points. But then eventually he gets those points. He is what Syracuse needs right now after losing command.
Yes, and you can hear the Syracuse bench screaming defense now. They know you have to be in it from the end of the bench to the starting point guard. Walsh trying to beat the press. Newcomb passes off, hit a 3. Butter. Once again, that's 3 straight threes for the Orange. The energy has shifted. 38-31, Orange lead.
We were just talking in the break play that Fairfield has kind of figured out that Syracuse will make you pay with the long ball. And then coming out of the timeout, head coach Mancinelli devised an offensive game plan that just returned back to that 3 because he saw his team was struggling down low.
Yes, moments like this make you realize basketball is a game of runs. Steve Walsh trying to get downhill, but they're pressing him. Ball stays with Orange.
We talked about the offensive, but something that's been underrated is the back-to-back steals that led to 2 of those threes were done on the defensive end. If you keep getting steals here, if you're Syracuse, you'll kind of be able to play the game at your own pace.
Yes, they've been doing a great job stopping the ball from getting inside. Now in the game, you have AR and Oz Alad. Real initiators for this offense. Martinez to Alad, 3. That one is all air.
4 shot selection from the captain. Something else they could have done differently was kind of get that teamwork part of head coach's grip model.
Yeah, you can see on that drive, Newcomb stayed on his feet, but the speed of Tarantino was a little too much, causing him to help defense to come and foul. Now at the line, shooting 2.
Tarantino is someone you want to get going if you're Syracuse. He's a 6'5" center who obviously has been able to do it all day. He's a rebounding machine, picks up his 5th point there, and Syracuse kind of needs to figure out a way to be aggressive on defense without fouling.
Yes, and I'll tell you, Tarantino's a very aggressive player. Last game, I seen him try to dunk on somebody.
We're no strangers to dunking, Jahi. Earlier this season in the Dome, it was a dunk contest.
Yes, that Binghamton game showed us things we don't usually see here for Syracuse club basketball.
Yeah, club basketball feels like so moderate. It's not like nothing in the NBA. It's just a bunch of guys playing their game, shooting threes, playing down low. It's a traditional basketball, and then you see all this athleticism every once in a while.
And it's a real shocker, but it makes for good basketball. Unable to get the layup to fall. Falls back with the Orange. Alad trying to facilitate from the perimeter. To the corner, Cole Martinez. That's no good. James Holmkamp can't control the ball. Anthony Rabarchek with a stifling defense.
Almost another defensive kill for the Orange. I love the hustle from Anthony Rabarchek, but just unfortunately not able to come up with it.
Yes, but it's the energy that matters so much. So plays like that have to continue for the Orange.
It's things like that. If you get Fairfield to stop and do the children, that's something that really happens.
Tarantino tries to throw one up, but it's no good. Ball's now back with the Orange as they try to control the pace as the half starts to come to an end with 3:25 to go. Scores 38. My bad, 40 as Alad comes in with the roll and the lay. 40-33 Orange lead.
Tokyo native just took command there. That is something that you want to see from your captain when the other captain, Jerry England's not on the field.
Leo Ackerman with the acrobatic layup despite the defense, closing the lead to just 5 for the Orange. Pressing the ball is Fairfield. Newcomb, one more. AR-4-3.
Already one short of his season high. For someone that has a lot of impact on defense, but when you can get him on offense, I would worry.
I would too. Here's Lysandria, guarded by the big Cole Martinez. He's a strong guy. We've seen him in practice. and the defense doesn't stop.
Jack Newcomb has been such a presence on defense. Already 2 steals today. And he's someone that's going to rebound. He's going to steal. He's going to shoot threes. Fairfield needs to worry about Newcomb.
Yes, a lot with a little bit of an ill-advised pass with the turnover. Shot's no good. Ball's rebounded and back with the orange. You can see Alaj really frustrated with his play right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't just see Joey, which is why the referee said, hey, everybody, you need to sit down.
Yeah, it's very important that we see the game. We are calling it. Scandalius was called for the foul. The Fairfield defense has gotten way more aggressive as they realized they were letting the orange offense get too comfortable out there.
Syracuse, one of its largest leads of the day, with just 8 points, which honestly seems like nothing compared to last game.
No, not at all. When you see somebody put up 50 in the first half and end the game with 90, you wonder how do they keep that going. But it's hard as you see AR put the 3 up. Can't go.
What a rebound from Billy Hicks. He can jump, Johnny.
Yes, he can. There's some big bodies. Here's home count. Gets to Tarantino, downhill, left hand, doesn't go. Rebound to Jack Newcomb.
A rare missed shot from Tarantino, who has 6-0. Fairfield, 35 points.
Yeah, Syracuse has an 8 lead with almost a minute to go. They give Hitteru an open 3. I wouldn't say that's a good idea for the former D3 player.
Syracuse has had a few open looks from 3 that they haven't been able to convert today. You have a miss from like Cole Martinez, another one there by Hitteru, and it's kind of surprising when just 1 game ago we were shooting over 80% from beyond the arc as a team.
Yes, Tarantino puts another one up. That one doesn't fall. He doesn't have the same hot hand he did last game. His offense really thrived. Kazi downhill.
Ever since I said that they've had their largest lead of the day with 8 points, neither team has kind of had an answer. Maybe a little broadcaster's curse now.
Yeah, maybe we should have never said anything about it. But, you know, the Syracuse offense has started to look better. And it's been more threes and less interior scoring since then. 30 seconds on the clock, 43-35. Syracuse now defending Fairfield. They look to hold for the last shot, as there's no shot clock here in club basketball. 20 seconds, gets the ball to Holmkamp, who's guarded by O'Kara Anglin, the strong defender. Coming off the screen, Lysandro gets Newcomb to jump, puts up a shot, 4 seconds, no good. Put back, doesn't go, a lot of rebound. Going into the half, Syracuse leads 43-35 after a great offensive reignition a little bit later in the first half. What do you think needs to happen in the second for Syracuse to secure this game, Danny?
If you're Syracuse and head coach Matt Snelly going to the second half, you kind of have to maintain that offensive momentum there. Got a little sluggish in the last minute, but you kind of have to keep one of your depth guys, those backcourt guards like Cole Martinez and Anthony Ryberchek. You have to knock down some more threes because Fairfield's a physical team. They're going to beat you down low, which is why Kazi O'Kara Anglin is struggling in the paint job.
Yes, you can see the paint is prepared for him. They know that nobody else is going to try to get down like Kazi will, and it's making an impact. They're making it hard for him.
Fairfield also has the height. Luke Lysandro has 13 points, is 6'4". And then you also have Daniel Tarantino, who also 6'6". That front court is just kind of too much for Syracuse.
Yeah, this Fairfield length is the problem because it's hard to get shots over guys like that. But how will they adjust? That's what I want to see in the second half.
Syracuse last time, it's going to be interesting actually, Johnny, because Syracuse last time didn't need to do much of adjustment just because of how big a lead you had over Geneseo at half. It was 53-12 at halftime.
Absolutely. So this game has been one to watch. It's halftime. We'll be back right after this.
Just press the I on the halftime. Good job, guys. guys.
Sound good?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good camaraderie.
after the first 5 minutes, I was starting to
A
feel
lot of good camaraderie. Yeah, you guys sound really good.
Any tips?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, your audio levels are good. I really like what Danny's saying. I think you're calling it, like, I feel like I call these so much more like radio than TV.
Yeah, you do.
You're really good at TV.
Uh-huh.
And I think that it shows like that. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to make sure I get this right. It's going straight to Matt Park after this.
Oh wait, let me drink water before I come back. Hold up.
Coming out of the half, the score is 43-35. Syracuse has held on to the lead for most of the first half and most of the game. Big scores like Kazi, Jack Buchholm, Azalad. The offense has been trying their best, and so has the defense. But this Fairfield team has been strong, Dan.
This Fairfield team is not going to be a team that Syracuse can get rid of as easy as Geneseo last time around, Johnny. It's going to be something that is going to, you got to keep kind of forcing the games to keep coming. Your captain, O'Carroll Anglin, has 9 points. You also have Newcomb who has 9 points. So you kind of need to get more players going if Syracuse wants to win this one and go to the finals.
Absolutely. Here's a lot outside. Trying to really get his rhythm back as he got a little frustrated earlier as the defense was really putting pressure on him. Trying to feed it to Kazi, but the defense is still pressuring him as well. They seem to have a game plan already, knowing who the scorers are and who to watch. Alad on the pick and roll, blocked. Here's Hitteroo for three. Hitteroo for three.
Bottom of the net, Johnny. Now he's up to 8 points.
You see, Hitteroo is usually a facilitator, but right now he's in his scoring bag, and I like what I'm seeing.
I would not call someone who averages 9 and 6 a game a facilitator, honestly. There's a reason he's kind of a 6-man. He's also like a co-6-man with Cole Martinez off the bench. He's someone who gets a quiet, good amount of points for the Syracuse team.
Yes. Fouls on number 11, Shane Andreyko. No, 11 or 11, Azalad for Syracuse. At the line is Luke Lysandra. He misses the first one off the front of the ground.
I think if you're Fairfield on this one, you kind of need to get more players going. You only have Luke Lysandra with 13 points, and you go to Tarantino and Leo Agerman with the respective 6. But outside of just 6, maybe 7 players for this Fairfield team, no one's really scored, and it's all been defensive.
Yes, and what I will say is I've seen a lot of James Holmkamp trying to get buckets, but he hasn't really gotten anything started. He seems to really have a slow start today, but he has the confidence to put the shots up.
Even when your starter, Sean Bison, just a pair of points for him. And then you have another starter who hasn't even scored yet with James Honeycutt.
Here's Fairfield back on offense after the missed 3. Holmkamp, air ball straight out of bounds, just as he spoke of it.
He hasn't been able to find the shot, and that is what's hurting Fairfield in this game. And it's the reason why Syracuse is up double figures right now.
Yes, but if you're the coach of Fairfield, you ask yourself, do you tell him to stay in the game and remain confident, or do you take him out for a new look because this game is on the line? Foul on number 23, Joseph Scandalius. Trying to play some aggressive defense on the line, who's really has caused a problem here for Fairfield.
Some may call it aggressive defense. I kind of call it a sloppy error from one of your starters. There's kind of a reset foul, but it was a pretty bad reach.
Yeah, I would call it unnecessary, but you know, each team has their own game plan. As Newcomb hits a spin move to O'Carroll Anglin, what a beautiful play! Put some English on it, Kazi. We love it.
The senior on the back to turn around.
As the clock was a little late to start, we're really at 17:46. Just so you all know, it's not 18:09.
And Coach Mattinelli got up for the senior start yelling at the clock operator.
Here's Hitteroo once again, showing off that aggression. Show some emotion, young man. We love it.
I call him a guy with 10 points for Syracuse today.
on to Hitaru. I'm sorry. You're a dog. You get buckets. Do it again, man. Do it again. Here trying to find a shot. Splitting the double. Banks in. That's scandalous for three. Scores now 50-38, a 12-point lead for the Orange.
I don't know if that counted, Jai. You didn't call off the glass there.
Got to call it. You know this is all street ball rules anyway. Kazi with the James Homecamp on him. Bumps him off. Gets it. 1, 2, 3. Block. Fairfield now on the fast break. To the corner. Hitaru keeps his feet. Blocked by Newcomb. Out of bounds, staying with Fairfield.
Hitaru was doing great on the offensive end. Just unfortunate that the ball was able to bounce off his foot there.
Yes, he did a good job contesting the shot. But we just had Kazi Okera England check out as Cole Martinez, who's been a hot shooter all day, check in. Ball spaced up top, 3, off the left of the rim.
Just 3 points in nearly 5 minutes, Jai, for this Fairfield team. This offense has slowed down while Syracuse, on the other hand, is not looking back. But I say the offense slows down right there, and here's a breakaway bucket for Fairfield.
Yes, he was able to read that pass from Hitaru very easily. So you got to value the ball when you're the Orange, because you don't want to lose this lead. You've gotten a little comfortable.
After a 14-2 season, it is getting comfortable. That could make you 14-3 and repeat a semifinal exit like you did last year.
And I know that's the last thing that Matt Sinelli and the rest of these seniors like Kazi Okera England and Oz Alad want, because they want to go out with the bang.
This SU team is a team of 9 seniors, and even including head coach Matt Sinelli, so it's actually 10 seniors. This team does not want to go out without a bang.
Jack Newcomb, with no regard for humankind, shooting it through the eyes of the defender. Right here, Fairfield trying to snatch back. Can't do it. Can't match Jack Newcomb's 3. Scores 53-40. We're about 4 minutes into the second half so far. Alad, that one's blocked by Sean Vincent.
Quarter shot selection from the senior. Did not need to take that shot. Could have reset the offensive possession. Knowing he got jammed, still put it up anyways.
Right there, Tarantino is unable to get it, driving downhill with all his effort, but it doesn't go. Checking into the game is our offensive initiator and 6-man, Steve Walsh, in the defender, Alex O'Neal.
On the other side of the bracket for Adelphi and Princeton, Adelphi is up 51-48 early in the second half, just about 40 seconds behind of this Syracuse game, but if Syracuse goes to the championship, these two teams they could potentially play are there.
And I think whoever ends up playing in that game, that will probably be the matchup everybody needs to tune into. Steve Walsh on the outside, trying to create some space from his defender. Roll, spin, jumper. That's his spot. That's his move. That's 2.
Steve Walsh, his second bucket of the day. The sophomore from Maine averages 14 points, one of Syracuse's primary scorers. But today it's been all the defense from him.
Yes, and it's been a good showing. Here, going downhill, Newcomb with the contest, and he gets a good one. Now on the break, the Orange, Hitaru facilitating. Newcomb throws it to the corner. Out of bounds. Ball back to Fairfield.
Miscommunications, Walsh worked his way back to the wing. Guardar threw it away.
Okera England coming back in for Jack Newcomb, who had a great showing in his few minutes on the court. This Fairfield team hasn't subbed this game.
Jai, you only have Luke Lissandrio and Joseph Scandalios, plus Leo Ackerman and Daniel Tarantino. These have been Fairfield's 4 main guys. They only have 6-point scores tonight. I'm not even sure if Fairfield even has a head coach.
No, they don't. I think they're player-led. And it's teams like that, you know what, I commend them for being able to fight with teams like Syracuse who have all this that we have. Here's Alex O'Neal operating on the outside. foul on O'Kara England once again. He seems like he's going to be in foul trouble, even though we're only 13 left in the game.
Already his third foul. He's someone that Syracuse cannot afford to lose, despite even a 13-point lead. If O'Kara England gets in deeper foul trouble, potentially even fouls out, Syracuse is going to have to rely on its other smaller guards, and you can't lose one of your biggest players on the floor.
No, that would be a big hit for the Orange. James Holmkamp gets downhill and still hasn't scored. On the break, Steve Walsh gets it to Hitteroo. Layup is good through the paint, through the defenders. That's now 57 for the Orange versus Fairfield's 42. Tarantino finally gets his three.
We're on the Hitteroo point watch here, John. He already has 12 points, and the season high is 15. The Washington native has been doing it for SU.
Yes, and Hitteroo is having one of his best games I've seen him have in a while. He's nearing his season high, actually, of 14. Anglin on the outside. Gets it to Steve Walsh. He pulls it. That one doesn't go. Scandalius spins. Tries to get the bump. No good.
Syracuse has been very disciplined on the defensive end. This game after a slow start with Fairfield going back and forth and them taking their momentum away. Syracuse has limited Fairfield's points this half. They only have scored 7 points.
Yes, Hitteroo with the putback on the Walsh three, but a little bit of a too little sign for the defender. There's Scandalius again on the inside off the cut in the layup. 59-47 with 12 minutes to go in this game.
The guard has been someone that's been leading Fairfield already. Now breaks into double figures. Just the second player on that team to score in double figures.
O'Neal gets to his spot, rises up, and drops one. Timeout Fairfield. They need to reconvene after they are now down 14 points.
That's right, they definitely do. They have not been able to get it going on the offensive end in this second half. Syracuse on the other side has been electric, doing it on the offense and the defense. They've got it, their captains are in there, their guys on the bench, even seeing them all. There is energy there. Head coach Antonelli has his team in a rhythm right now.
Yes, and that rhythm is carrying on. It's been carrying on from the game before, and as long as it carries on to that final second countdown, this game belongs to Syracuse. But if Fairfield can find a way to get back on the inside and keep getting those points in the paint, as well as stopping those scores, this game could shift.
It could, Jai. We've seen things in the past change. There was a few games ago where Adelphi and St. Bonnie's was a back and forth. Even when Princeton played their first game, down at half, came out victorious, and now is looking for a chance to play in that championship game tomorrow.
And if you ask me right now, it's looking like Princeton has the lead. So it'll be interesting to see how this game goes and what that matchup will be here on Sunday.
And Jai, you know what they say, anything could happen in March. And it's not just limited to the NCAA and March Madness. We're in club basketball March Madness right now.
Yes, this is club madness. We love to see it here in Syracuse. Back into it. Billy Hicks bringing the ball up for Fairfield. Throws the lob, and he misses it all. Gets the ball to himself. And after 3 tries, he gets that one to go. That is Luke Lysandra.
Sophomore, only a sophomore, his second year with the team, but he's a leader. He already has 15 of Fairfield's points. He's someone that Syracuse has kind of let play around, and it's been a quiet 15 job because early on he got going, his motor was running, and then now coming back late in the second half, he's been
Allowed with the attempted spin move, but unable to control the ball. James Holmkamp pulls a 3. That doesn't fall. Anglin to Martinez. Through the contact, draws the foul.
great play, Jai. It allows the rhythm for Syracuse to keep running. You have a clear angle in the captain with a defensive stop. You find it's a goal Martinez is going to take that to the bucket with numbers every single time.
Yes, this team just is working very well. First one doesn't fall for Martinez. But Martinez, as we will say, is a shooter. He can let it fly.
Not from the charity stripe. We saw that previous one. But of course makes the second one.
It's because you said it, Danny. You got to be careful what you say. Milan already in that defensive stance. He gets the switch on to Anglin, who has 3 fouls, who must be careful. His layup doesn't go. Here's Tarantino. That's another 3 for him. He's finally able to get it going in the second half as he struggled in the first.
He's Fairfield's Jack Newcomb, a big guy, but he'll let it fly from beyond the arc. That is something that is very fortunate that Fairfield has. You have all this height, but you have shooters.
Here's Anglin. He misses everything, but that looks like it went off the hands.
Captain calling for a foul there. It's now a 10-point game, Johnny.
10-point game, 10 minutes to go. You wonder what will happen for if Fairfield is really able to close this lead enough to make it very competitive. Here's Billy Hicks. Up top, 3. Brought in by Alon.
Tarantino not able to get the rebound there. Which if you're Syracuse, you're very lucky because a rebound there, plus points, cuts back into the deficit, and Fairfield is going to do it right here and now cut it down to 8.
Yes, Nicole Martinez passed right like a book, making an easy break for Fairfield.
Leo Ackerman finally getting back in the ball game, and now you have this Fairfield bench hyped up because there's only essentially 1 quarter of play left, and you kind of come back into this lead, and you're trying to force Syracuse to make some turns.
Anglin drives and kicks, gets it now with a lob. Ball's deflected. As he dives on the floor, James Holcamp, foul. Send him to the line.
Some chaos there, Johnny. I thought they were going to come here to us and jump on the table for that ball. The ladder was, fell, what, 2 feet in front of us?
Yeah, he dived for the ball. He wanted it. And that's what you call hard and hustle. At the line, shooting 2 is James Holcamp. Yeah, it's been a long night. He's put up a lot of shots, but he's finally getting some buckets.
He was the last remaining starter for Fairfield who has not made an impact on the scoreboard. Finally does it on the hustle play.
You know, I don't think the announcer's curse worked on him for a little while. Now just a 6-point game. Syracuse up 62-56 with 9 minutes to go in this one. Alad still struggling on Billy Hicks, trying to use some of his weight and size.
And here comes Fairfield, Johnny. It is a 6-point game. We were talking just 2 minutes ago. It was 13. How anything could happen in March. And
Holcamp finally
call a timeout now.
gets his bucket. First field goal for him. Timeout on the floor. 4-point game, 8:42 to go in this one. You can see the energy of this Fairfield bench is infectious. They have not stopped all day, and that is making a difference. He is frustrated. Syracuse had a 13-point lead less than 3 minutes ago, and now it is just down to 2 possessions. Fairfield, on the other hand, smiles are going around. You're telling your team if you're Fairfield, hey, relax. You're going to keep playing Fairfield ball and see how far you can push Syracuse over the edge and blow a lead. Yes, so the thing is so emotional for Syracuse. Yes, they have the lead. You wouldn't expect to see all this anger, but they're just not happy with their performance, especially Captain Oz Alad. But what's most important for them to remember is that you have to stay composed. You must play your game. You cannot let them get in your head and change how you play.
And remember, Jai, remember the problem for Syracuse. O'Kara England in foul trouble, having to take some time off the court. He's not on the floor right now, and that is what has allowed Fairfield to climb back into this.
Yeah, and the hardest part is that when he is on the floor as he is now, he cannot play the aggressive defense that he wants. Here's a lot at it again. You see Matt Sinelli still trusts his captain as he should. Here's Robarczyk on the cut and the layup on the opposite side.
That's why you trust your captain. You allow him to make big plays like that, which allows Robarczyk to get 7 points, a new season high for him coming at the right time.
Hohenkamp with a little bit of a heat check. I don't think he was as hot as he felt. That three was off. 64-58, 8:16 to go in this one.
Gonzaga!
Matt Sinelli really trying to get his guys to believe. He needs them to understand that it can be done. And if they do, they punch their tickets to nationals. Robarczyk for three.
For Syracuse, you can't be worrying about nationals right now. You got to worry about not having a second consecutive year exit in the semifinals of the regional title.
Azalad causing a turnover. Stop, pop, O'Kara, angling. Butterfree, smooth.
O'Kara angling is a captain for a reason. He's a leader on and off the court. And if you let O'Kara angling get loose, he is going to make you pay. The senior came to play.
Hohenkamp gets downhill, able to draw another defender and the foul. He's going to the line shooting two. That one's on Jack Newcomb. Jack is the only real big for the team, outside of Hunter Shorter and Kyra Ouz, who don't get as many minutes as him.
He got him minutes earlier this year, but when you're in the stage you're in right now, head coach Matt Sinelli does not hesitate to go to smaller guards. You are going to play. That is Syracuse basketball, and that is how he wants to play.
Yes, and he has to be comfortable with his team. His home game the next week. Scores 67-60 with 7:20 to go in this one. Steve Walsh is on the outside, guarded by Joseph Skandalis. Trying to find a teammate to hit. There's AR available for him. Gets downhill, past the hitter. The clock's winding down, no shot clock here, but they're still trying to find their offense and not get stagnant.
That's something that could be a problem and a good thing in club basketball because, yes, there's no shot clock, you can take your time, but the problem is you can also take your time and wear your team out.
Yes, and as you see there, Kazi doesn't get the best look as that one airballs. Hohenkamp operating on Newcomb. Can't get it. Newcomb has been playing stellar defense on the inside all day.
Newcomb, like we said earlier, Newcomb has been that defensive presence down there in the paint. And on offense too, John. We said Fairfield dominated the paint earlier. Jack Newcomb is that guy.
Yes, and for those who don't know, Jack Newcomb went to Lower Mary. Now, if that sounds familiar, yes, Kobe Bryant went to that high school, drafted to the Charlotte Hornets back in the day. Hit a route downhill to Anglin in the corner, wide open, and it's money. Tell them who you are, young man. The lead is now 10 for the Orange.
The New York native is dangerous when left open. We say that he's been limited because of that foul trouble, but Fairfield is letting him get loose, which is why this lead is back in double digits.
Yes, downhill. AR tries to bounce pass, and it's broken up by Fairfield. Into the lane. That one takes a lucky roll. Leo Ackerman with the left hand.
Fantastic defense from Jack Newcomb, but sometimes great defense just cannot be enough.
Yes, and it doesn't look like they counted that point for the Fairfield team, but that's okay. I won't argue it. Anglin on the outside, trying to get downhill, kicks it. AR, hands aren't ready. Jack Newcomb, three. Carter.
home has 15 points, and 10 of those points, or at least 9 of those points, are three-pointers. The big man can shoot, and that is the difference right now in this game.
Tarantino gets it right over Newcomb. Timeout Fairfield. The Orange lead by 9 with 4:30 to go in this game. It's almost over, but it's not decided.
I wouldn't say it's almost over. That 4:30, this game is a marathon, not a sprint. And both of these teams, it's like the game is going by very, very slow in this second half. We talked about no shot clock. Well, that is the reason it's really slow, because each team is going to their own tempo. Syracuse just in a better rhythm right now.
Yes, they've been able to actually get their offense to play and just be comfortable. They're less stiff. They're just in their game. But the Fairfield team is really doing a great job of getting to the line, drawing fouls, and breaking up passes, which can be disruptive to the Syracuse offense.
Jai, what if I told you on the other side of the bracket in this regional tournament, Princeton is up 73 to 66. Both scores almost identical with just a minute separating each game.
Wow, it's going to be a good matchup in this finals. If Syracuse can really finish this off, which we hope they do, let's be honest. Who do you think will win?
Who do I think will win? I think Syracuse can win. But before we even jump to nationals or the regional finals, like I said earlier, we got to focus on the semis because 4:30 is a very, very long time.
You're absolutely right. Let's focus on the task at hand. Syracuse, Fairfield, 4:30 to go, 73-64, Orange on top. Here's Captain Alive. Scandalia is still playing that same intense defense and not allowing Oz to breathe. And then you see the reach on Walsh as he gets downhill and draws the foul.
Very late foul call from the ref on number 24 for Fairfield. A lot of frustration on the bench, but in the end it was a foul.
Yes, and it was a foul, but it's the late whistle that just throws off the momentum of the game and it angers coaches. But you know, at the end of the day, a foul is a foul. Walsh at the line shooting two. First one's good, growing the lead to now 10 for the Orange.
Been a very physical game, we could say, Joey, but the refs have been letting on play. Not much trips at the stripe, at least for Syracuse.
Yes, it's not been that many. They haven't been able to get downhill and draw them the same. Scandalius with Oz on him. Gets the screen, now Martinez. You see, this Fairfield offense is trying to get as many switches as possible. Downhill, and the foul. Luke Lysandra to the line.
We said it earlier, Lysandra is someone that could go left. He could go right. This sophomore is not scared, and he takes one on the left for a lot there.
Yes, he's had a good day, scoring in all different types of ways. As he gets the lucky bounce in a roll.
The around-the-world roll is what they call it, Joey.
Yes, we don't see it too
Very
often.
unfortunate for Syracuse because now the game is back to 2 possessions.
Yes, it is a close game, and as you said, Danny, it's far from over.
Whoa, same thing, yeah.
Coach Mazzinelli's on his feet. He understands that this is a huge game. Each possession matters.
I don't think I've seen head coach Mazzinelli sit down at all, John, because this intensity of this game is brought.
It's hard to sit down with all these emotions. Walsh able to get his defender to jump, and he gets the leg.
Walsh responsible for the last 4 Syracuse games. Had a quiet day. He's now half of what his season averages, but he's what Syracuse needs to kind of run away and maintain possession of the game.
Yes, Scandalius rises up over Walsh, and another lucky bounce. It seems like that rim is on their side.
13 points for Joseph Scandalius. It's kind of a back and forth here in the Flanagan building, right?
Yes, and if that's the way that Fairfield's going to play, they will not be able to win this if they can't get a stop.
Fairfield may have flopped there.
Yeah, I think also the pressure and all the intense play is making Oz, it's getting him a little on edge, but he has to control himself, because if you don't, you get dumb foul calls, you can't win. Right now you have Cosby trying to facilitate for his team. Now it's with Oz. Scandalius is not scared of the matchup. Walsh to the corner. Cole Martinez. Now on the break, Sean Vincent. Layup doesn't go.
Amazing teamwork here from Fairfield. Just unfortunate enough to not convert. But now on the defense end, you've got negative impact on your shot clock now. You've got to have to speed this game up with just 2 and change left in the game.
Yes, as you can see, they're throwing the double at Anglin. Cole Martinez 3. Rebounded by Alad. Captain doesn't stop hustling. We're reaching that 2-minute mark, and Syracuse leads by 7, but there's a timeout by head coach Massinelli. I don't think he liked what he saw out there.
I think a big reason that I was going to say this timeout was called not because you have a lead and you want to reset the defense and the offense. It's just Cole Martinez has had back-to-back wide open 3 opportunities and is not even, he's barely hit the rim on both.
Yeah, he's unable to convert on these wide open shots. And it's not like you want to stop taking them, but you just want to talk to your guys and really get them back together.
You don't want to let the emotions fly. You want to set control to have a chance to play for the championship in the Ratings building tomorrow.
And that will be huge for this, because they have never done it before. They want to do something new here for Syracuse club basketball.
They want to leave, these seniors want to leave their impact, their legacy on this team, and that all starts with these next 2 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. With Coach Matt Sinelli, who works with the men's team and here on the club team, hoping to be a coach on the higher level one day. Moments like this matter, and they show what you're capable of. Walsh dancing on the outside. Foul on Luke Lysandra.
That's 6. Diego, watch corner. 6. You got 6.
Little confusion here.
Yes,
Silence with the referee on how many team fouls have, because that matters, Joey. If it's going to be a 1-and-1 or if they're going to bonus plus to get shoot 2 free throws, or right now if they're going to just inbound the ball.
Yes, and you know, you have seen a lot of aggression from this team. As you can see, the fouls have been clear, and you just want to make sure you keep track of those if you're the stat people here for Syracuse, so we can have a fair game.
The referee finally blows his whistle after a missed call. They're already getting hit in the face, but now we see Syracuse back up on the offensive opportunity.
Scandali is there called for that one. And it looks like he's fouled out of the game. Yes, Scandalius has 5 after that one. His odds at the line shooting 2.
A big loss for Fairfield. He has 13 points, and he's the 3rd most out team at Syracuse now. You'll be able to control these next 2 minutes much better without one of Fairfield's biggest offensive threats in the game.
Yes, he's been causing a problem for Oz all day, as he has not been afraid of the matchup. But Oz converts at the line.
And just behind this guy with less than a minute left, Winston has tied the game against the Delphi with an and-one opportunity.
Oh man, that game has gotten back and forth. You wonder who's going to come out of it. Alad shooting his second. 8-point lead for the Orange. 1:45 to go. Now we converts. Pushing the ball with some aggression right here. Fairfield throws one up. No good. And he tries to follow it up and still doesn't fall. Brought in by Cole Martinez. He's fouled by the Fairfield team, but they don't blow the whistle. It seems as if the whistle isn't blown, and there's so much going on this court.
4 shot selection.
I think the refs are ready to go. I just think they're ready to go. The fouls have been on both sides, and it looks like they just. Yes, you can see the anger coming from both sides of why there's no whistle.
Scandalius, who just found out, very angry that there's been a lot of sloppy offensive and defensive defensive play in that last possession, and that is valuable time that Fairfield needs to kind of bite into this lead, but it gives Syracuse the advantage now.
Yes, because if you are Fairfield, you want these fouls, or else they can actually dribble it out for a minute. This is a little bit like some 1950s, 60s basketball.
I don't think you want to intentionally miss that defensive rebound, and now you see his head coach laughing. He gets his own rebound, gets it out to the and will now send the other captain, O'Kara Anglin, back to the line.
Man, this game is all but out of hand at this point. We're at a minute, and the lead's at 9. You've got Anglin at the line, and this guy doesn't miss often.
Thought you were about to give a little broadcaster's curse there, Chai. I was like, man, is he going to miss this next free throw?
I'm glad he didn't. The lead is now at 10 with 1:03. Kazi makes them both.
No foul!
And Maxinelli is saying we don't want fouls as Kazi fouls the moment that he gets across the line.
O'Kara Anglin in trouble because one more of those and he's done for this next minute.
Well, he needs to be careful. And if I were you, well, you keep him in the game. There's no harm with fouls. There's only a minute left. Lysandra tries to get downhill, gets it to go with his left hand. That's a 9-point game. Hitteru gets it on the inbound. Anglin. Fouls called on number 22, James Holmkamp. 44 seconds on the clock, and Anglin will go to the line.
I want to say Syracuse tomorrow is going to be playing Adelphi, but it's just a 3-point game. If Princeton is going to get the final possession, 19.5 left on the clock, Joey.
Man, it has been competitive basketball all day, and you can't ask for better hoops than this. Anglin misses his first one.
Syracuse already set on defense because they know what they need to do on this next one.
O'Kara Anglin misses both. Ball's back with Fairfield. Tarantino, step back 3. That one doesn't fall, as Hitteru gets a good contest. Another foul on O'Kara Anglin, sending him back to the line.
This one looks all but over, Jai. Syracuse running away with it, up 9 points with just over 30 seconds remaining. O'Kara Anglin, his second trip back to the stripe.
Yes, he's had a tremendous game today. And it's not all just on the stat sheet, but it's just how the impact you have with your teammates and the energy. He gets that one to fall after missing both last time at the line.
Anglin now has 20 points for Syracuse. Leading scorer all season and does the same thing again in the regional tournament.
Yes, in a game like this, as tough as it was, as aggressive as it was, it shows that they're ready and that they deserve that number 1 seed. Tarantino shoots it, misses it once again. Vincent misses it from the corner. Steve Walsh ready to dribble out the clock as Maxinelli and the Syracuse Orange Club basketball team punch their ticket to the North Atlantic Region Tournament Championship.
Syracuse not in a second round exit this year, and you can see the energy as this tournament is nothing but exciting, and they're going to the final dance before nationals.
This game was one to remember, and it looks like it's all on the line on the other side of the court. The game is tied. You couldn't have told 5 minutes ago. I thought it was Princeton. Now it's Adelphi. Syracuse, Adelphi. Sunday, it's a game.
We'll have all your coverage here. It'll be me on the call, Johnny on camera, and Jack Stanky as the caller.
Danny D.